against this right back, Charlie's definitely.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, bro. Come on.
There's always just that active red line defending. I think it's like. There's always just that active red line defending. I think it's like. There's always just that active red line defending. I think it's like. There's always just that active red line defending. I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, bro. Come on.
Am I live? Of course I'm live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, in some cases, good night. People deluded, I'm back again. First things first, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, in some cases, good night. I hope you're all starting your Monday morning or Monday, let's call it that, in the best possible way. I hope you and your loved ones are safe. I hope you all had a great weekend, definitely where my club supporters are concerned. And I hope this week is better than last week, and I hope 2023 is a great one for you lot. Smash the like buttons, comment, one love to you lot, whether you're locked in on Twitch or YouTube. Make sure you're checking out the other videos because I've done the tactical review, and I've actually done a shorter form of Arsenal transfer news. People apparently we're linked with Zubimendi, we're linked with Kiriak becoming a new signing and a couple of other bits and pieces. People, let's actually on that make sure that we haven't missed out anything. People, always working for you guys as usual. Appreciative of all the support you give my platform and appreciate everything you guys do. People, can't have done it without you, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube. Twitch gang, 4:30 we're playing Football Manager as well. Let's not forget that. Seems a dry day really where transfer news is concerned. Pardon me, nonetheless, there's something to discuss, isn't it, people, really and truly. Let's slap this over there as well, just to have it there because it's a bit that. And yeah, man, beat Man United, beat Chelsea, beat Liverpool, beat Spurs times 2. It's normal, man. Man gets swept at the carpet. It's light work, man. Still waiting for Kerouac to sign the deal and become one of us. I mean, Fabrizio Romano said it's a formality. Anything can happen, but unlike Mudryk, the man's at the stadium, innit? So I agree. The dream is free. The hustle is sold separately until he's holding the shirt and all of that sort of stuff. Is what it is. Is Fresneda done? Not quite. We really need him for depth. He's a great player. There's some rumors saying he'll stay at Valladolid on loan to the end of the season. There are some reports saying we'll bring him immediately. And there's also some conflicting reports that have saying a span has been thrown in the works where Cedric Suarez to Fulham is concerned now. As transfers typically get closer, there's a lot of game playing. Smash the like button, as you lot know. But maybe Mikel Arteta will say, you know what, young man, 18 years of age, you've just come through at Valladolid, probably not made that many appearances as a career individual. It could be worth not unsettling your environment sort of thing, leaving you there, leaving you to play for them, growing in importance, build whatever experience you can. Then the following season, 2023-24, you be part of pre-season and then so on and so forth. While I would advocate moving on Cedric Suarez, he might say, you know what, minutes are currency for a young player. Young lad, go and play. Cedric, you can keep doing what you're doing. We've got Tomiyasu and Benjamin White. And I think every game now, whether it's, whether we need something different on the pitch to win a game, whether it's injuries, whether it's fatigue, whether it's form, Arsenal fans have a problem with depth. We don't sign ODEGAARD. We've got Smith Rowe. That's a small minority. And I think them small minorities are now seeing that you need depth. You need a squad, really and truly. So I think with Benjamin White and Tomiyasu, we need to look at the right back region closely. And I mean, when Mikel Arteta's confirmed, I asked for a winger, I asked for a centre mid, I asked for a centre back and a right back. And I think between now and the summer, we'll get that done. Whether, you know, that's able to be done in the winter market or the summer is a completely different thing. Don't forget to keep commenting your opinions. Can be related to Arsenal, United. I've got all my trolling, all my fair points, all my analysis out the way. Can be in relation to transfers. Whatever you lot make the platform what it is, people. Welcome to Arsenal. Rice, he ain't signed yet. DG 50 million, 52 million on a player we don't know is but risky. Or rather Renato Sanchez will offer that for Caicedo. Well, that won't get you Caicedo because just over that has been bidded by Chelsea. And I wouldn't say he's not a player known. He's still kind of fairly young, Zubimendi, but he's been doing all right in Spain. He's been linked with Barcelona as a long-term replacement for Busquets. I think he's a very decent player. You know, Trossard did well in his 10-minute cameo. You know, it was a good team move, which led to Eddie Nketiah's goal. Again, I'd say the more meaningful moments is when Xhaka's pass has obviously found Trossard. He's linked up with Zinchenko. Zinchenko has found Odegaard. Odegaard's got something on it. And Eddie Nketiah rewards his great team display with a second goal and a brace against a massive club like Manchester United and 2 vital goals. I don't know what you said here, Jay, but big up yourself. I think you mean to get Arteta, we need to speak to Fresneda's dad in Spanish. Yeah, I mean, that's a game changer. I mean, obviously, Mikel Arteta, as a Spaniard, the same way Ten Hag, you know, being Dutch, you're going to keep up to date with young players in that league and who's doing what and things like that. So obviously when you share the same country and obviously we've got a good project with young players in which you can be part of, it makes a lot of sense, really and truly. It makes almost too much sense. But he's someone that not just us, and we'll get into it in a bit, people, but apparently Borussia Dortmund have offered him something, and obviously you know what Borussia Dortmund do for players. You know, Sancho was there, Jude Bellingham will probably leave. Obviously Makoko will probably be trained up. They've got Karim Adeyemi and things like that. Fair play, man, fair play. It's nothing, man. I give it to Ten Hag. He's got heart, but he knew that lead couldn't last. Hey, Saka from far, Eddie from close. United there on the ropes. It's crazy, man. Hector, it's not your fault, man. You know, the Emirates estate is not safe, man. You know, it's not safe playing my team right now. You know, Ten Hag can have a conversation with Graham Potter, with Conte, with Jurgen Klopp, who seems sour about Arsenal. You lot can join the Arteta defeated club. They said we weren't on it in big games. Let me have my moment, man. I never want this season to end. I want this season to be, provided it ends in a good way, I want this season to be replayed every year, man. I can't lie to you. It's not safe, man. It's not safe. You see, real star boys. You seeing what Saka's doing. You seeing what Eddie's doing. You seeing what every player. It's not safe, man. It's not safe. That's my gaffer as well. They took the lead. We brought on elite substitutions at the moments they came. Tomiyasu very quickly. Clearly, Benjamin White was struggling. Trossard has been involved in the goal. Obviously, Rob Holding, I'm forcing it just there to shore up things. But again, I'm talking about depth. We need depth. Where Ten Hag's concerned, I actually think United are a lot better than the team that beat us in September. I think if they commit towards what Ten Hag wants, I think he will do great for them. But I do think they need... Clearly, he hasn't got his team. Ability and players is one thing, but you can't play out the back with De Gea, with Wan-Bissaka. I felt very sorry for Varane and Lisandro Martinez. Lisandro Martinez is a warrior. Varane had a good game, but you're only as good as those around you. Midfield's gone walkabout. Eriksen on reflection, watching the game again, bottled that. Him and Shaw bottled it against Saka. And there were elements where both teams need to improve. I think both teams were inviting unnecessary pressure and inviting players to shoot. I did think Arsenal and United, you know, when you lot made it 1-0 and we made it 2-1, showed a bit of immaturity to concede almost immediately. We did like our second half. I think Ten Hag's problem there, you lot were trying to play for a point. Should have just kept doing what you're doing, really and truly. But there's many of positives and areas for improvements. Both managers could take from it. And as I said during the live stream, whoever wins, loses or draws, I don't think you can have any complaints because it was good, bad. And I don't quite think ugly for us, but ugly. I do think the 2 goals were very avoidable. The build up to the corner, let alone Ramsdale for Lisandro Martinez's goal. Obviously, Partey and Saka are ramping for Rashford's goal. You lot are inviting Saka to shoot. You lot have switched off at the last moment. Again, from a corner, you lot haven't exactly got out. Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka have not done good enough against Eddie Nketiah or Gabriel for their first goal. So there's plenty to learn. But I think United fans should be positive. I don't know what the owner's saying, what the level of investment and all of that jazz is now saying, but I think there's a lot of positives to take, if I'm completely honest with you. And yeah, man. And I think we could have been even more efficient in front of goal, saying that we've scored 3 goals, and you get where I'm going with it, man. So yeah. I think we just need to get some more backups and depth and we can go for the title and trophies. Curtain curtain raisers. Big up James, the members. Eddie is looking too good to drop. Will be interesting to see how we change up when Jesus is fit. Allegedly, Jesus said he's fit in five weeks, but that's what we want. Good problems. You want Arteta to think, yo, the striker I bought central to the system, and we can't forget what Jesus was doing and the big games Jesus has played in. I need to get him back in, but I can't drop Eddie. I can't do this. You need problems. You need, like, am I playing Trossard, Martinelli, Smith Rowe? Am I playing ODEGAARD or whoever? Am I playing Saka and whoever? You know, if you were to get Declan Rice tomorrow, which we're not, do we go with Xhaka and Partey, or do you bring Declan Rice in? Obviously, this new Kiri, or you want him to come and give problems. Do I keep Gabriel, or do I bring in a left-sided centre-half? Do I drop Saliba? What do I do with Benjamin White and Tomiyasu? Tierney's firmly behind Zinchenko, but Zinchenko is given no reason to be dropped. But as you've seen with Benjamin White yesterday, squad depth, Tomiyasu was needed. It was trenches sort of thing. No disrespect to Benjamin White. We need good problems. Lord knows, since Mikel Arteta has taken the Arsenal job, and definitely us Arsenal fans, we've had definitely negative talking points and negative problems, you know, whether it's been contracts, players just simply not being good enough, not doing the business in the transfer market. So now we've actually got half decent players go and give issues. You look at the 10 spot, Fabio Vieira, when he signed, I'll play anywhere, but I would like to play 10. You know, Smith Rowe can play long-term, could be at 8, but he'd probably be at home in the 10, even though he's done his thing off the left. Trossard said it depends on the system, and I'm comfortable everywhere, but I want to play in the 10. So there's about 3-4 players that could play there. Zinchenko could move into midfield as great as he's been at left back. So we need depth, we need problems. Crucially, the talent ID has been spot on. You're seeing what these players bring to the table, and it's happy days so far. But, you know, we need to take the good and make it great. The areas of improvement against United, again, being a bit more efficient and effective and ultimately clinical in front of goal, you know, not conceding the goals we did. I did think we was a bit open in midfield at times. It was really an emotional game. Element of individual errors. I like that we're reacting from it, but we need to cut that out, because like I said, had we have drawn that game or lost, we couldn't have had any complaints, if I'm honest with you. But it's nice to keep our great home form. It's nice to beat a top team, an informed team like Man United. It's nice to get some revenge on them after what they did at Old Trafford. It's nice to keep things going, really. And again, I don't know if it's been officially confirmed, but allegedly, you know, Lampard's been sacked. So we know we're going, I'm pretty sure, away to Everton. I could be wrong. Let me actually check that. Is there going to be a managerial bounce? I'm not too sure, but we enjoyed the United game. Well, the fans, the media, all these things can enjoy it. For the players, it's Monday. United game, it's not that it's irrelevant, but it's irrelevant now. Keep it going, innit, really? And in terms of fixtures, bro, yeah, we are away from home. When is the 4th of Feb? That can't be this Saturday. No, it's not. We've got Manchester City in the FA Cup on Friday. You know, we'll be doing a watch along. That kicks off at 8, so I'm just letting you lot know we'll be live from 7. Next week, Saturday, midday kickoff, Everton away at Arsenal. And, you know, again, Goodison Park, we mess about sometimes there. Then we've got Brentford at home. They're going to want revenge. Then in February, we've got City. I'm even looking at it respectfully, you know, and again, I don't know why the screen's not sharing. We can bring you lot into this as well, so you lot can see the same thing. When you obviously look at it, Tab Police look away now. Again, we've done great. You know, we went into the World Cup doing good. You know, we've come out of the World Cup doing very well. As I always say, from August, you just got to make it to the end of the year, in and amongst Champions League places or still having these talking points. From now, it's just about getting to April. If we lose, let's react quickly. If we draw, let's react quickly, like we've done against Newcastle and obviously United back in September. If we win, great. But now you're going to have the Europa League, assuming we go through in the FA Cup against City. You know, we've got to play City 3 times. We still got to go away to Liverpool. We got still got to play Newcastle. We got some very tough games. Now, for me, it's just about navigating until April, getting out of April. And provided we're still doing these things, saying these same things and whatnot, once you get into May, what more can you say? Like Ferguson used to say, squeaky bum time. Don't let down your hard work. Get the job done. Confirm it. Because while it's been great, there was elements of last season being great as well. But you need to get the job done in football. And I do like that grit and determination we've had. Like for me, away from obviously beating Man United, some of the best games that I've seen from us this season, bar the obvious, would probably be West Ham at home, Aston Villa at home, Fulham at home, and Man United at home, because at least in 3 of those 4 games, we've come back from losing positions. And we weren't losing, but we was on the, you know, Brighton was a bit fugazi, even though we was good. I like that. Leeds away is probably the most I've been scared this season, you know, on top of obviously beating Chelsea, Liverpool, Spurs, etc., etc. It's when you've got, you know, it's when the other team's on top of you, or when you've made a mistake, or when you're staring down the barrel of defeat. How do you react? And so far, we've done all right. So as I said, we started the season great. We went into December period with the World Cup great. We've come out of it great. Again, I don't think we've lost in 12 games at home. if I'm honest, I think we're an improved defensive side. We're a better defensive side. But for what I think the potential we have, and excluding the youngsters, I think we could be, we're an improved defensive side. But I don't think we've earned the right to be a good defensive side, because now I'm judging us on the high standards we've set. I think we're conceding too many cheap goals. West Ham goal was avoidable. Brighton playing with fire, really and truly. And this could be said at the turn of the year as well. Man United, again, the game management, we've just, we're on top of them. Rashford has scored because we've made mistakes. Take nothing away from it. Great bit of play from Rashford. He still had a lot to do. We've just, we've conceded a silly corner, and obviously Ramsdale's let us down, but just focusing on, for me, the corner and the very fact that we just got into the lead. These are things we need to improve on. We kept a clean sheet at Spurs. That's great. United, the goals could have been avoidable. I'll take the 3 points every day of the week, and then we review and things like that. Smash the like button. So we've done all right. Now it's just about getting to March, last April. And again, it doesn't matter that we beat United, that we beat Spurs times 2. Obviously, for the fans, that we've gone to Brighton away and pulled off a result. Again, away from top games, we've been doing what we need to do in it. But now we can't look backwards. We need to look forward. That starts against Manchester City on Friday, and you see Pep's already starting his game. He's trying to G up his players. Oh, you can't catch Arsenal. I don't know if you man are motivated. Pep is a mastermind at this. He's been in this scenario before. Mikel Arteta will probably be telling the players privately about this nonsense that he's doing. Really, I don't know what Klopp's on. Always talking about Wenger and things like this. Klopp, you're gonna get your P45 soon, by God's grace, really. So yeah, we got City away, Everton away. Brentford are going to want revenge, and you can't sleep on Brentford home or away. Then you've got City in the league. Villa away, Unai Emery. Last time we bucked him, he had something to say against us for Villarreal. Then you've got Leicester away. They're fighting for their lives. You have to bear this in mind. And so are Everton in our next Premier League game, excluding the FA Cup. So for now, we just need to navigate until April. As you can see, City at home, Villa away, Leicester away, Bournemouth at home, Fulham away. Fulham away is not easy. None of these games are easy. You can look at what these teams are doing right now and say, oh, this and that and the other. Football's not won on paper, as you lot know. Crystal Palace at home. I'm not going to lie, Vieira, you need to give us 3 points there. Leeds at home. Realistically, if I'm honest with you lot, yeah, out of all of them, we should be beating Everton, regardless of a new managerial bounce and things like that. And we don't travel well to Goodison Park. Even when we win, it's a bit shaky. But based on what we've done this season, you need to win there. Every home game, I'm not going to lie, even though we've been great away from home, every home game I want 3 points, because the fans are making noise. The players are doing what they're doing. The Emirates is becoming somewhat of a fortress. So again, and again, we need to go one better against City, because last year we did all right. We let ourselves down in the final periods. We can talk about pens and all these things that played a part, but we switched off in the last minute for when Rodri scored. You can go back to that tactical review then, people. So yeah, Villa away, not easy. Leicester away, not easy, but you should be winning those. You should be winning those. You should be winning. The only defeat I want to see or could accept is City, but football's a very difficult game, and we played, when we played Villa and Fulham, we had to do a madness, really and truly. Bournemouth, you need to be taking 3 points. Fulham away, boy, you need to be taking 3 points. 2 informed sides. Hopefully Fulham but hopefully you look a lot less like what you do now when we play you. Palace, Vieira, you owe us. Leeds, we need to be winning that. Anfield is where I'm looking at us, people. And then obviously, like I said, you get into this April period, boy, assuming we're doing what we're doing, don't let all the hard work come to waste. And I don't know, by God's grace, we've got a Europa League and FA Cup final and things like that. But boy, April don't look easy at all. Everything that you lot worked on in June, July, everything you lot said before you went on holiday and stuff to start pre-season for this campaign. Remember how it felt to lose out on top 4, how it felt at Newcastle away, how it felt at Spurs away, how it felt at Brentford away to somewhat claw back your season, and ultimately it ended in the same way it started, underwhelming, really and truly. They're not easy games. West Ham are fighting for their lives. Liverpool at Anfield is not easy. City away is not easy. Chelsea are going to want revenge. Newcastle away, I don't think anybody wants to play that. And I'm so happy we've got Leeds, Wolves, Palace, Brentford, Bear Wakes, even the Bridge. We've got some out, even Old Trafford and St. Mary's, got them out the way. Brighton, got them out the way. So as you lot can see in April, it's Arsenal, we got Leeds, Liverpool, West Ham, Southampton, City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton, Nottingham Forest, and then we end at Wolves. These are not easy games. And if I had to, respectfully to all the teams, for me, the ones that grab my attention is Brighton at home, Newcastle away, Chelsea at home, obviously, the Etihad trip to City, actually going to the London Stadium according to what's happening with West Ham, and obviously Liverpool. And obviously where you look at Wolves, Nottingham Forest at this moment in time, West Ham, Leeds, and even Crystal Palace with their form, there's not much separating the relegation zone at this moment in time. So we need to have that tax of people are fighting for their lives, people. So we need to be sensible, and we just need to remember it's a marathon. There's 19 more games, 19 more 90 minutes games. We can't get excited. We just need to take our time and just keep working. There's going to be a lot of twists and turns. Same way we've had a couple, minimal point against Newcastle, lost at Man United. Hopefully that continues, but it's important that we just keep going and we don't become unnerved when we do lose, because assuming we're fighting for certain things, allegedly, I don't look at the league table. There was times whenever City win the league, there's always times they've dropped silly points or they go for a bit of shaky form and they pull it out. So let's keep going. The way we're moving is giving me confidence, but ultimately, no one can predict the future. And that's the fantastic thing about football, really. Look how many narratives can change week to week. A week is a long time in football. But yeah, we need good problems. As long as Eddie keeps giving headaches, great. But for me, I'm not going to lie. The minute Gabriel Jesus is fit, I'm not going to lie, he's back in the team for me. McKennie is better than Xhaka. I don't know about that, dog. How we still not in the race for Bellingham because we're not Madrid and that. I'll take your word for it, but I don't think he's better than Xhaka. I don't see why we would hit that release clause if we're serious about Rice. Amen, especially in Jan. We'll get into that in a sec. I've just heard rumors about Weston McKennie to Arsenal. Always rated him high. Juventus wants 20 to 25 million euros. That's a tough game at Everton. Love DG always speaking sense, my bro. Appreciate that, my guy, man. I don't know about that, but I appreciate that. If I had £1 for every, you're not so deluded, and you are really deluded, but hey, I might just buy Declan Rice for Arsenal myself. Very tough games. I can't lie. You can't say Xhaka fails with end product and then praise McKennie. It's not making sense, my guy, man. Would you play Smith Rowe on Friday? Yes and no, because obviously we've only got one game this week. We'll be playing Everton the following week. I think you got to go with the strongest side, if I'm completely honest with you. I think if anything, if I had to force it, maybe Tomiyasu for Benjamin White. I don't think Benjamin White should get snaked after a shaky 45 minutes after he's been so good. But I do think there's been a lot of fatigue in him. I would like to see Smith Rowe get minutes, but where does he come in? Does he come in for ODEGAARD? Does he come in for Martinelli? Martinelli still was effective in the United game, gone a bit quiet by his, blistering high standards so far. So you could bring in Smith Rowe. I'd say for me, maybe Tomiyasu in for Benjamin White, potentially Trossard in for his first start for Martinelli. I'm not too sure, but we're playing Man City, innit? I don't think we have the luxury of saying, Europa League, FA Cup, the league is more important. We need to go after everything, and, we need to do a job against City, simple as that. So I wouldn't be surprised if Trossard is in for Martinelli. I'm kind of more for that than necessarily Benjamin White for Tomiyasu. Take nothing away from TT because we're going to need to be switched on defensively, but it wouldn't surprise me if Mikel Arteta names his strongest side. Also, if he deems that they need rest, fair enough. But realistically, we played on Sunday. They're probably in London Coley now for a light training session / recovery. The business probably begins. Smash the like button, people. The business probably begins again on Tuesday. Then you have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We kick off on Friday. And then after playing on Friday, we're not playing until next Saturday against Everton. So Dons can play in it, really. It's not. I know us fans, we like to think we're physios and we talk about rest and all these things. I don't think it's that thing in it. I think if Arteta names the same lineup, everybody deserves the chance to play. I can't begrudge them. I couldn't begrudge him, but I also could see if he wanted to flirt between. If it wasn't City, maybe you'd see Fabio Vieira. You might see Trossard's first start. You might see a start for Tini or something. But we're playing City in it, really and truly. So. There's no time for ramping, really, if I'm completely honest. Again, people, check out some of my other videos I released for you guys either today. Well, you saw it today, innit, really? That was my tactical analysis. No, it wasn't actually. Sorry, folks. Why isn't this page refreshed? Because I was about to say there's definitely more vids. But that's the good thing about this. Get them out. Don't forget to smash that like button, people. You got to be shameless with this promotion. Keep your opinions coming. Loving your opinions. We'll look at the transfer news in a sec. But selfishly, this is the reason I like live stream. Shout out the Twitch gang. I just like to see you lots talking points and all those good things and all of that, man. Shout out Sarcasm City for raiding the channel yesterday as well. Didn't even see that, man. My guys, make sure you're following them and all of that. Almost at 100 likes. Saka was amazing. Had short on toast. Man United fan. Great player. Yeah, bro, Saka will do that. I did think, on reflection, I don't understand why you allowed Ericsson didn't even get good enough as well with Shaw. You're allowing Saka onto his strongest foot. I think with us, yeah, we made a mistake, but we allowed Rashford to do what he was doing. And I also think in the first half, McTominay missed. I can't remember I think Ramsdale saved it, but we weren't following runners and we're inviting people to shoot. So I think there's a lot of things that we could improve on in that game, and for both teams. But for my team, I think I'm happy that we get the 3 points. I'll always elect to get the 3 points first and then talk about these things later. But there's many things we could have done better. You know, we shouldn't have conceded. If I'm completely honest with you, you know, if I'm being harsh, should have been a more efficient and effective in front of goal and put the game to bed in the first half. Second half, strongest period in, I'd say, the last 15-20 minutes. United won the ropes in. I think Ten Hag started to play for a draw, if I'm honest with you, but the game should have been wrapped up before that. Also in the second half, I think we was a bit open on the transition. I did like how we reacted to setbacks, but when we made it 2-1, we conceded the corner, let alone the goal, in stupid fashion. So game management, efficiency in front of goal. I did think we looked a bit emotional in the first half. You know, Rashford scared me anytime he had the ball. So there's many things we could have done better. But one thing I take heed from that is I'm saying we could have scored more. We bagged 3. And we just got the result, man. There has to be an element of winning ugly, really and truly, especially when you play informed teams and teams like United and all these things. You know, our away form, our record against the top 6, while it's been improving under Mikel Arteta, historically, that's been 2 of our Achilles heels sort of thing. So we just need to keep going, if I'm completely honest with you, and just keep doing what we're doing. The job's not done. The race is not won yet. We're in January. It's 23rd of Jan. Ads on here are ridiculous. Heading to ad-free YouTube. Brad, man, I appreciate anyone who's watching the ads. It supports the channel, my guy. You know, I wouldn't say YouTube ad-free. At any moment, I could press that button, man. Small act that helps us. Koku at Feyenoord is better than McKennie. Zubimendi has already agreed with Barca for next year. I believe that as well, man. Zinchenko in that Cancelo role is different gravy. Small details like that change everything. Exactly. When you look at Zinchenko, as you was at my live, my watch along. In the game, Zinchenko was great from start to finish. I was looking at Xhaka and Odegaard because I think when Xhaka, Odegaard, Zinchenko in particular, when they're on it, everything else falls into play. And again, respectfully, I don't think Gabriel and Saliba, much like the United, I actually think it's a weird game. There's been 5 goals conceded, right? But I think the young centre-half duo in Gabriel and Saliba did well. And I also think their more experienced counterparts in Varane and Lisandro Martinez did well. I think for Arsenal, let down by stupid mistakes in other areas. For United, you let down by other teammates, really. Arsenal exploited the wide areas, even when I don't think we cooked as much as we could. Obviously, the winner has come from the left. Saka has cooked, man, as well. Actually, the cross for Xhaka has come off the left-hand side as well. Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw, you're disjointed as a team because it's come from, you know, you dealt with our corner and we've kept possession and pressure up, but you know, Shaw and Wan-Bissaka are not talking. They're not passing men over. I genuinely believe had Eddie have not scored, Gabriel probably would have as well. So, as I always say, where Arsenal are concerned, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, like elements of what we did in that game. But fortunately, did what we needed to do. We do trust. Do you know when Jesus is coming back? No, but if you look at social media, apparently there's a clip going around that he said he's back in 5 weeks. I'm a United fan. Honestly, Arsenal deserve to be champions. I don't know about any of that. Don't look at the league table. Champions of what? Hopefully, you're talking about financial fair play. I just know the plan was Champions League in August. Plans do adjust. Variables do adjust. But let's just take things from game to game and see where things can happen. You know, the dream is free. The Arsenal is sold separately. With every game that keeps going, of course, you start to dream about ending a massive, massive year wait for a league title. Again, I don't look at the league table, but we just need to keep working, my guy. Just have to keep working, man. Your browser is showing Zinni level performance with those many tabs open. Allow me, man. I did it for you. Like, shout out the members. City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton. Tough run, man. But you have to get on with it. We got Super Mick Arteta. He knows exactly what we need. Zinni at the back, Eddie in attack. Arsenal win the Premier League. Hopefully, man. I think Smith Rowe and Trossard should start. Can't say why he's fatigued. He didn't play World Cup. I mean, evidently, anytime you're playing 90 minutes, he does look a bit fatigued. You know, I said that in the Brighton game. I've probably been saying that in every stream. He does look fatigued, really. I'm not saying he should be dropped, but he does look out of gas. He's playing week in, week out. Let's not forget about training. Let's not forget the intensity of the Premier League games. Let's not forget about the opponents you're playing in. So I'm pretty sure I can say what I like. Not saying it's a fact. That's just my opinion. Martinelli is fire, bro. Good to see Smith Rowe, though, getting back to his... Bro, I want to see Smith Rowe. That's the only stain against this season, in that he's been a bit part player. Shout out to everyone that's filled in his absence. But Saka's doing his thing. Eddie's doing his thing. Unfortunately, Nelson was injured. He come off the bench and did his thing. I want to see our number 10 again, man. I don't care if he plays in the Xhaka role, in the ODEGAARD role off the left. Bro, I need to see him again, man. As long as the reaction is immense when we drop points, we'll be fine. But that's up to our leaders and the gaffer. I hear that. I'd say it's up to the players, man, because I do think Ten Hag and Arteta, for example, there's certain things they would have told these players going into that game all week. There's certain things you would have seen in the game, but the players have to manage themselves. I know it sounds silly, but this is where when I see team huddles, when I see the togetherness before and after the game, this is what gives me a bit of pride. It's like being a boxer. Your boxing coach can tell you all these things, but once you're in the boxing ring and someone's aiming to take off your head, you need to be your own manager, really. You know, ironically, Sky Sports are showing the game again. We could have done so much better for that Rashford goal. Out of push, you know, Partey's done dumb, but you can clock the angle already, bro. Bruno got an assist. Someone needs to just fly into that, man. Saliba, could you have got closer? I'm criticizing Gabriel. Could you have done a thing? Midfielders, where are you? Could Ramsdale have even done a bit better with that Rashford strike? Saka, and obviously could have done a lot better. He's lost possession. Partey's played the pass. I don't know, but we've reacted. For analysis on that, check out my tactical review, man. Appreciate that, Bumpy. I expect the only change will be Tomiyasu for White, Kirill for Gabriel, and Trossard for Martinelli. I'm not too sure if the young lad will play, man. Trossard really looked good and relaxed on the ball. Looks like he'll be a good signing for the second half of the season. He complements the side well, man. Khabib was talking to Hayes. That's it. Yeah, that was it. Khabib was talking to Jesus yesterday. Video surfaced, and he told Khabib, "I'm back in 4 or 5 weeks." I mean, ain't he a Man United fan, Khabib? So Jesus needs to lie to him. Big up, DG. Enjoyed the now. Great feeling. Good deal for Everton. Lampard looked bumpy from the jump. They'll need a big Sam-like bump to save face. Boy, they probably do, but I don't think Lampard's crying. He got a big payoff. And guys like Lampard, give it a few months. He'll be back. He'll do up punditry for a couple of weeks. He'll be back in a job. Look how Steven Gerrard, to be fair, Gerrard did his thing in Scotland, frauded it at Villa. He's Poland gaffer allegedly now going to be one of them saying that. You see reports today that the ex-Portugal gaffer could be taking the Poland job. It's good that Smith Rowe's an afterthought. Hopefully when he has opportunities, he takes them. Yeah, because Arsenal were accustomed to, if this guy was fit, if that didn't happen, if this happened. It's a squad game. Injuries, suspensions, loss of form. It is what it is, man. He'll be ready for May. So we're going to just have to get on with it. Either doing things in the transfer market, or other players doing their jobs, really. Injuries can happen at any time. Arteta's decision to keep faith in Eddie has been backed up because in August, unfortunately, you have to sit there and say, you know, what's the worst case scenario? If Jesus gets injured, then Eddie this and Eddie that and whatnot. Lampard's been sacked. Sean Dyche should get the Everton job. Bro, Martinelli is tired, bro. You notice he only takes on Wan-Bissaka one time. He's playing preserving. We going to need him at the end of the season. I mean, he's gone a bit flat by his own standards, but I think Martinelli off the ball is doing everything he can. Even how he drew Bruno drew Bruno towards him in the build-up for Xhaka's goal, watching it again. Obviously, you know, Martinelli has set himself high standards, but these are young players. There's going to be a bit of normalization, really. This is Martinelli's real breakout sort of season, a bit like Smith Rowe and Saka last year, in that you're playing week in, week out. You've propelled yourself, you know, your form towards, you know, from the start of the season, pre-season actually, until December, propelled you into the World Cup squad, going from being a wild card to a genuine choice. There's going to be a normalization, a bit like Smith Rowe and Saka. They kind of, in terms of goals and assists, took the walkabouts. And that's why I like everybody collectively doing their job. We're going to need everyone, whether you're Smith Rowe, Fabio Vieira, Reece Nelson, the bit part players. Now Trossard's been brought into that. It's a squad game. And if we aspire to be a team that can genuinely compete for the Premier League and, well, hopefully the Champions League next year, but Europa League this year and FA Cup, and what a goal from Eddie. I can watch that again and again, but we're going to need a squad. We're going to need a squad. Look at City now. For evident reasons, we're not going to get near City in terms of that. You know, they can afford to have 100 million. Jack Grealish on the bench. Boy Wonder, you know, Phil Foden. Cancelo's not always playing, experienced Walker. But forget the players they're buying and the caliber of them. Just in terms of the bodies, and everyone's got something that can complement. Even young Rico Lewis has come on the scene now. We need all of that. And I mean, Mikel Arteta's got his own managerial thoughts and stuff like that are probably a lot different from Pep. But he's been in this scenario. He sees that, you know, what it happened, what you could do with having depth. And I'd say with someone like Zinchenko, it's giving us another dimension. But then again, there's going to be times where Zinchenko might not be needed. It might be a time for the trenches where Tierney comes into it, or even as great as Benjamin White. You need to bring Tomiyasu off the bench, someone who's probably our best defender, or I think the best individual at defensive actions at the club, Tomiyasu. Big up to Gabriel as well, because I think everybody's there to hit Gabriel, the centre-half, with a stick over his head when he makes a mistake, and he does need to kind of stop those bozo moments. But when he does well, no one wants to say a damn thing. Like Arteta said, can do a lot better. So true. Ramsdale and Martinelli could have done better. Everyone could have, man. Your defense is in trouble and Ketia in the room. Takes a few seasons, man. And that's it. People are allowed to say Mikel Arteta out at the time if they wanted it, same way he praising. I know with fans, it's always a ha-ha, I knew better. But if you're doing good things, you get praise. If you're looking shaky, there's issues. A bit like Eddie. You weren't looking like the guy. You're developing. You're now looking like the guy. We move. I always say, I'm not even necessarily with that, because you've seen my comments on Arteta and Eddie, people, and I've had to defend them. But I think most fans can have their opinions, but you'd love to be proven wrong. Who wouldn't want to be proven wrong? The problem with football is everyone wants to be right. Everyone wants to do one-upsmanship. Everyone thinks they're the genius and they know more than the other individuals. And it all just comes back to insecurities and an inability to control emotions, really and truly. But such is life, man. So it is what it is. Got to give them time. I was Arteta out. He proved me wrong. Do you think the atmosphere yesterday at the Emirates Stadium was finally as good as Highbury? I mean, Highbury's a bit overrated in terms of atmosphere, but this season the atmosphere has been 10 times, a million times better, really, if you're completely honest with yourself. And it gives the players an extra boost. I mean, we're all Arsenal fans. We've seen what it's looked like when it's a bit toxic, where you know what time it is, man, really and truly. So, yeah, it is what it is. Jesus, Trossard, Smith Rowe, Tommy, Tierney, strong bench. Again, that's a bit like United yesterday. You had the media bench than us. Sometimes the bench is more important. And I would say the biggest thing with the Man United game is a bit like, for me, Fulham, Villa, and West Ham, is that it's looked like the game could go another way, or it hasn't started, or at a moment a spanner's been thrown in the works. We've accepted that. And we said, all right, boys, mistakes happen. Let's go again. In previous years, I've seen Dons crumble. Opinions change as you get more information. Exactly. That's how life should be. If you're presented with something different or new evidence where football's concerned, is what it is. I said the atmosphere at Highbury was slightly overrated. It was a buzzing atmosphere, but it weren't, as someone who's went to Highbury a couple of times, it weren't exactly the noisiest ground. It is looked at with a bit of rose tints. Of course, the Emirates historically hasn't had the soul of Highbury. Please listen, man. And if Highbury was so good, respectfully, you wouldn't be called the Emirates faithful. Please listen. Rather than type, man. You got 2 of these, 1 of these, 10 of these. Please, God made us all perfect in his image. Let's use that the right way. Anyways, last time we beat United, Liverpool, Spurs, and Chelsea at least once in a single season was 01-02. Another hoodoo done. And that's great, man. Let's just make sure there's something to reward us with at the end. Saka and Eddie were great, but for me, Zinchenko was man of the match, the passion, the decision-making. I'd say from start to finish, I think Zinchenko and Eddie, I think ODEGAARD, Saka, Xhaka, once they woke up, we were lit. So I'd probably say that. But man to a man up, Gabriel and Saliba as well from start to finish. And as much as Ramsdale maybe could have done better for both the goals, definitely the corner, bro. He popped off not 1-2 saves. And I'm not being funny. Ramsdale's made a mistake. How many times has he saved us this season? You look at him and Gabriel's performances at Leeds away. Other players are going to be heroes and protagonists every week. It's a team game. Last time I checked, there's 11 players and there's X amount on the bench. Not everyone's going to be at every game. But crucially, when the stars or the star man or the informed player isn't there, or even if they have, other players have been pulling their weight. It's a collective. DG, what's good? My guy Trossard looks great. Good signing on a budget. I hear that. Typical Arsenal player he is. There's nothing wrong with your opinions changing based on new evidence. At least you're big enough to admit you was wrong. And that's it. Some people won't do that. Marquinhos needs some minutes as well. Minutes for what? I hear you, but minutes for what? Let's be real. Minutes for what? And I'm not trying to be harsh. There's not a single person in this channel, single person on YouTube more passionate about Arsenal young players or Haylenders than me. But minutes for what? Do I agree with the comment? Of course he needs more minutes. Minutes are currency. But minutes for what? I'll always support anyone. If Arteta wants to start him, start him. But is he going to help us right now go through in the FA Cup? Of course, I'd like him to play and score. But is he going to help us go through in the FA Cup? Is he part of the strongest lineup where we're chasing 3 points? Is he one of the strongest subs, or is he right now just a body? And Arteta has kind of said we'll look at situations in January. I think if certain things went our way, you might actually loan him out. He's doing great, but there's a reason he's barely played. And that's not to be harsh to the lad. You can't have everything. Everyone can't get minutes. Everyone can't get a chance. And you want Arteta to win, because the first thing man are going to say is, why did you play Marquinhos? I agree with you, but minutes are currency. Could it be best him going on loan? But I don't know, because we need depth. Hi, DG. First time commenting here. Big up yourself. Cool show. I can feel the steel in my one hand now. Marquinhos is calm, but come man. It did take Partey time to settle, but I mean, Partey is in his mid-20s. Marquinhos is a young man that's still scratching the surface. He does need minutes, but minutes for what? Respectfully, you know, when Arteta, if Arteta thought he was ready right now, you get more minutes, bro. Same probably goes for Fabio Vieira and every other young player that was traveling. The first thing Arteta needs to do is win the game or get 3 points, or there's questions. And in a nice way, they're not part of that. Let Marquinhos develop. We probably signed him on a 3, 4, 5-year deal. Early, you know, 19, 20 years of age. You're not the finished article. We don't expect you to. In an ideal world, I thought he would have stayed for the first half of the season, adapted off the field, adapted to what Arteta wanted to do, see if he can excel in terms of expectations, and then go out on loan. You know, it's not about your ability, it's about your speed of thought. And he has had opportunities in the Europa League. I'm not criticizing him. It's just the reality of this. You know, Saka doesn't play because he's a young player. Yes, it fits into the remit, but you play because you're good and you help us right now. The same goes for everyone. You're not playing because you're a nice guy or you deserve minutes, because football is a lovely game. It's a beautiful game, but it's also effing ugly as well. There's also that harshness. You know, while we've got a good family mentality, there's unity and things like this, and they're friends and all of that stuff. Fundamentally, we're here to win football matches. We're not here to make friends. It's me playing or you. I'm sure, obviously, it doesn't mean create envy or have disharmony. Everyone supports everyone who... What a goal from Saka. You see my star boy. Can't celebrate on my block like that. Real celebrations. But yeah, I'm sure everybody is friends and things, but fundamentally, nobody wants to miss out. This is why I said earlier, give headaches to the gaffer. Nobody wants to miss out. It's Zinchenko or Tini or even Tomiyasu. It's Tomiyasu or Benjamin. It's Smith Rowe or this. It's Saka or that. We're not here to make friends. Take the next man's spot. It's like if you're a young academy player and you've been there since 8 years of age and it's under 16s. Yeah, you've known everyone, but it's I'm getting a scholarship or you're not. If there's 2 left backs, they might both get a left back. But if it's a smaller club without a scholarship, if it's a smaller club with less resources, they might say, I'm only going to give it to 1 left back and you lot have the last half of the season to show who gets it. It's me or you. It's a beautiful game, but it's also ugly. We're here to win games. We're not here to be friends. Of course, some players are squad players. Some players are key players. Some people change the dynamics according to performances. But if you want to just get minutes, go sign for a Sunday League club. It's not about that. I'm sure if life was fair, we'd all have a lot less. If life was fair, or in a footballing sense, if life was fair to all these footballers, Jesus, Saka, and Nketiah, bare guys would have less minutes, and we might not have the points we have on the board. It's not about that. I'm sure Arteta would love everyone to get a game, everyone to get fair minutes. You know, probably breaks his heart when he can't bring on players. But your job is, when you get an opportunity, take it. Simple as that. I'm sure he'd love to play Lokonga. Lokonga, you haven't laid down a marker right now, so it's peak for you. Simple as that. Zinchenko is fire, man. We know this. Come on. Appreciate you, lot. He does need minutes, but minutes for what right now? I hear it, though. I do agree when you look at the young man, but minutes for what? Man said he's the Black Robin during the live stream. You got it, man. Saka has, Eddie Nketiah has that mentality. Would like to see Vieira more. I'd love to see Fabio Vieira a bit more, but again, his peak. Like, bro, where are you playing? You're not playing off the right. Centre mid is locked down, you know, but it's his job to give Arteta problems. Oh, I need to get Vieira in. I can't move out ODEGAARD. Should I put ODEGAARD where Xhaka is? Oh, Xhaka is doing this. Should I get rid of Partey? Partey is doing this. Bro, give Arteta. Arteta should have positive problems to the point where he hasn't got a full set of hair anymore. Lord knows how he still got his hair after, you know, how we used to look when he took us over. He needs time. But respectfully, half these people, you know, when you play young players, even the Salibas out there, you have to account for mistakes. When Marquinhos plays and he's not shooting when he needs to shoot, assisting, not playing with his head up, not doing things that other people are doing, people are going to get onto him. And it's not always about how good you are. Sometimes it's about how good you are at your worst. That's honestly why I believe Pepe really, on top of Arteta, probably not really him being his cup of tea, barely played. You know, in terms of natural ability, Pepe, even with the new improvements, is probably one of the most naturally gifted players. But it's also about when things go wrong. It's also about what you're doing across the whole 90 minutes. So it's one of them ones, really, people, if I'm completely honest. But yeah, man, I'm not being funny. City's not the game to be saying everybody needs minutes and all these things, man. Lampard's officially sacked. Brazy. I've got a lot of time for him. I like Lokonga. I think there's a player in there. I think if you show a bit of confidence, you look 10 times better. But the harsh reality is if you can't be confident, and there's no reason to not be confident. Collectively, we're doing well. No one's relying on anyone. It's not toxic. The gaffer is giving you all the faith. The players, the more experienced ones and the young ones will pull you through these situations. So I'm not saying no one don't believe in him. But every time I see Lokonga, I'm not really moved by him. And he looks like someone that's not really confident. And my heart sympathizes for him. You know, like in life, if somebody's lost their confidence and lost who they are, of course you're going to feel sorry for them. But the harsh reality, like the ugly and the beautiful thing about life is you have to just get on with it because it keeps going. If you ain't got faith in yourself, how the hell can Arteta or your teammates or the players? And the reality is, Arsenal, do I care about Lokonga's feelings? Oh, I'm not playing. Or do I care about Arsenal getting 3 points? No one's more important than the collective, innit? Eddie's stepping up, and again, positive headaches. Does Trossard deserve more than 45 minutes against City? I can't lie, I'd probably start him, but for Martinelli, really, I think I'd keep the whole team the same and do that, if I'm honest. I could understand if Tomiyasu comes in for Benjamin. And I could also understand, once again, if the gaffer doesn't change a thing. Big up, DG. You always have balanced opinions and being objective facts. I appreciate the praise, my guy. We keep working hard, man. Thank you very much for your nice words. And everybody else listening, man. Where are we at in terms of 115 likes? There's 300 of you locked in on YouTube. You lot are violating Twitch gang. You're my favorites anyways. No, I'm playing, man. Big up the Nigerians as well. Pardon me, we need depth. One does wonder, though. Have we got too many of them technical footballers, though? Especially guys that can play in the 10. I'm happy with it. You've got Vieira, Trossard, Zinchenko, Vieira, Trossard, Odegaard, Zinchenko, Fabio Vieira. Have I said Smith Rowe? I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Patino in a couple of years. Let him cool off. Let him develop and do his thing. He'll get into the mix as well sooner rather than later, in my opinion. But again, emphasis on letting him. And again, if Lokonga play, bro, who wouldn't want Lokonga to start performing? You start performing, I might start looking at central midfield a bit differently. You know, we might be looking at central midfield a bit differently. Who knows? Arteta still might buy a striker, for example. But if he, you know, Eddie might be giving him a chance to rest and say, you know what, maybe just a winger in other areas we can get through it. As I said, give the man headaches. Some of these previous players have given Arteta a lot of probably negative headaches. Go and give him problems. Speaking of Eddie. And look at Zinchenko's passion, man. Careful, Zinchenko. Did you not get a letter from the FA about celebrating and all that? It's crazy. Party's a boss. How are Arsenal doing in the Champions League? I don't know. But what I would say is we might even have to make some harsh decisions. Certain players that are key parts of this team, maybe we have to be cruel to be kind and buy people better than them. I don't know. To be fair, you know, Sociedad are fighting for the league mathematically, and they're still in the Europa. Sambi as a versatile 10 is the best case scenario, hoping for positive development. Number 10. I don't know about that, my guy. I don't know. Lokonga number 10. I'd love to be proven wrong. It showed more layers to his game, but Raji, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. You know, he's barely looking like a number 8. Tierney should start against City. I mean, the Tierneys, the Tomiyasus, the Trossards, they're going to probably be talking points. I'm not being funny, man. Lokonga can't be no 10 at this club at this moment in time, bro. When you got Fabio Vieira, Martin Odegaard, Zinchenko, who could also play there. Martin, bare duns, bro. There's bare guys that will play the Smith Rowe. Well, there's so many. We're getting back to it. Trossard, Smith Rowe, Vieira, Zinchenko, Odegaard. Forget all of that, man. Imagine if we signed Rashford. He'd be a lit signing for us, but he's probably going to sign a new deal at United. Hope to be wrong, though. But yeah, looking at transfer news, let's spin the block one last time, people. Oh. Let's change that to an hour. So let's see what's going on here. Let's start actually with that, folks. What is this? Sorry for the delay. In fact, let's edit the timestamps because I don't kind of want that. What are we at? 49. Let's call it 49:20. Smash the like button. Keep your opinions in, people. So yeah, people, it is what it is. Let's start with this first and foremost, people. Ivan Fresneda, if you look can see, you should be able to see now. In fact, actually, what I want to do is go over to the Athletic because that was the initial thing. Fresneda to choose between Arsenal and Dortmund. Real Valladolid in high demand right back Ivan Fresneda, 18 years of age, will make a decision on his next club on Monday. Arsenal and Dortmund have both agreed terms for the player, a fee of 15 million euros, which equates to $16.2 million or 13.1 million pounds, with Fresneda to be loaned back to the Spanish side for the rest of the season. Now, when I look at that, I'm in two minds. The first is I hear it. You know, he's 18. Again, he's 18 years of age. He's only played 14 times. You know, 14 times in the top division, 10 times in La Liga. You know, minutes are currency. He's just broken in. So, and again, you'd be asking him to make a significant step up to us and what we're doing this season, leave and live in a new country, let alone play at a new club, have to readapt to what Mikel Arteta wants and things like that. It makes sense to, you know, because apparently his release clause jumps with a couple more opinions. I think it makes sense to buy him now, let him build on the appearances he's made, let him play for Real Valladolid, let him keep playing top division, getting all that experience, come to Arsenal in June, May, June, July, whenever preseason is, and then your Arsenal career for next season gets going. I could also, and especially if Cedric's move to Fulham breaks down, then I'd rather Cedric just sit around like a spare part than a young man who could really do with the minutes. Respectfully to Cedric, what you see is what you get. But also, as you've seen, Benjamin White, you kind of hoping he never gets injured. He doesn't look a bit leggy or tired or lose his form. Tomiyasu, like Benjamin, is a great option at right back as well as some others, but Tomiyasu's a bit touch and go, and injuries, suspensions, these things happen. We're going to need someone else there. So I understand both of it really and truly. Though it's not out the woods yet. We have heard Fresneda's agent was at London Coley, so we're not there yet. Dortmund, Newcastle United, a bunch of teams been linked with him. Dortmund as well, who also have a great project for young players. Now, obviously, you know, we've got Spanish coaching staff. We've got a great project with young players. We've got the law of the Premier League. Respectfully to Dortmund, we've definitely got more prestige than you historically in this footballing world. No disrespect. So it makes sense. And you're seeing young players play really and truly, but we can't draw conclusions. You know, it's difficult jumping the levels in the Premier League in any top division. You know, I haven't watched his 10 games for Real Valladolid, but I'm pretty sure there must be games he could have done better and whatnot. So I understand both sides, but apparently a fullback who relies a lot on his technical qualities, Fresneda stands out for his good ball control and his aptitude in attack while rarely showing weakness in defensive tasks. A host of other clubs have been pursuing the Spain under-19 international, including Newcastle, who have since dropped out of the race, people. And as you lot can see here, apparently Arsenal and Borussia Dortmund target Ivan Fresneda is set to choose between Arsenal, well, better yet, the Gunners and the German side today after Newcastle have pulled out of the race, people. Both clubs have agreed a deal with the Spanish side for 13.1 million quid. And again, until a man's holding a shirt, boy, anything's possible. He does look competent, man. I think tomorrow on Twitch, again, you can only watch it on Twitch. So if you're on YouTube, follow. I think we'll watch a lot of compilation videos of Fresneda, off Trossard and anything else because we ain't done that for a while. YouTube, you're going to have to follow on Twitch. The Twitch copyright laws are a lot more kinder than us, man. Who will end up our top goal scorer? I'd love it to be Eddie or Jesus, one of the strikers, you know, but honestly, who cares? Do you see Tierney, your guy, leaving at the end of the season if Fresneda joins us? I mean, it does look a bit dark for Tierney, but things can change right now. Zinchenko's the man. I hope not, because you're a good squad player and you got a good project there, man. I hope the hair shoulders is okay, bro. That man there were time wasting. Xhaka can play 10. He does it for his country. That's great for, you know, Switzerland, but we don't need that here, bro. We should have signed Zaha. I think he means Zaha. I think Rafael would be a proper addition for the summer. Amen. After now seeing a Mudryk / Trossard cameo, you happy how it all worked out? Not really. I'm a bit indifferent. I'm happy with Trossard, experienced, adaptable, very much an Arsenal player, technical brilliance and things like that. Experienced as well, more like the Xhakas and the El Nenes and the Partes. So you kind of, what you see on is what you kind of get. You know, can't draw any conclusions on that. Or Mudryk's I mean, Mudryk was the first choice target in it. So I'm a bit upset that Arteta couldn't get his man. Based on his cameo against Liverpool, can't draw too many conclusions. I remember Arsenal fans waxing lyrical about Pepe doing some dribbling thing, but he looks good in it. He does look good. He does look good. Well, I'm a gendering with all my heart, but he's going to defeat them allegations. He does look good. It was Arteta's top target, you know, based on the fact that we was looking at Mudryk and Trossard and Mudryk and Felix and got none. I have to assume two attackers. So what would I have been really happy with was Trossard and Mudryk. obviously when you Trossard is talk, I mean, when Mudryk is spoken of as Ukrainian Neymar and all of this, it's a shiny new toy. Trossard isn't quite that, but we've signed a competent individual, so it is what it is, people, in that regards, man. Hopefully we bring a couple more in. So yeah, man, there isn't much more to say on that. Thoughts on Lampard being sacked? Oh, you know, overdue, really. Zaha's injured with his hamstring. That's that at 30 years of age. But as I said, people, the Real Valladolid man will pick between Arsenal and Dortmund on Monday, which is today, according to reports. The coveted 18-year-old defender is being targeted by several top sides across Europe, including the Gunners and the German side. And as reported by The Athletic, right back Fresneda is imminently set to make a decision on his next club around the week before the January transfer window closes, people. Arsenal and Dortmund are said to have both agreed a deal for the talented teen worth 13.1 million, which would see him return to the Spanish outfit, whose majority owner is legend, you know, the real Ronaldo, really. Several other clubs have been pursuing him as well. He's born in the capital. He spent 4 years at Real Madrid as an academy player. Arsenal want cover with Cedric Suarez expected to join Fulham. Ben White has made the right-back position his own this term, but Tomiyasu has struggled with injury issues, and Mikel Arteta wants better depth in his squad if they are to maintain their title charge. As you know, it looks like we're going to sign Jakub Kiwior from Spezia, and it's just lacking an announcement, probably doing his pictures today. Trossard has joined us and has already played for us, people. So it all depends where you want to read into that. Once again, I don't know. God forbid, please, God, no copyright issues here. But allegedly, this is Gabriel Jesus saying he's back for 5 weeks after talking with Khabib. So again, watch that space, people. Watch that space simply. Apparently, we've been linked with Weston McKennie. Arsenal is on the trail of McKennie. The talks held by the club with the player's agent could soon become something more and ignite the market finally. Juventus are willing to negotiate for a fair offer between 20 and 25 million euros plus potential bonuses. Close that. I don't know what I was doing there. Arsenal on the trail of McKennie have made contact with the player's agents. Juventus once again are willing to negotiate for a reasonable offer between 20 and 25 million euros fixed fee plus bonuses, with the Premier League the most probable destination. Juventus need money. Juventus need players out. Of course, you know, Premier League clubs have the most money, if not us elsewhere. I mean, I can't see him being anything more than a bit part player, but he is fairly tigerish. He's not the worst. Don't think we should move the ball out to bring him to the carpet, if I'm honest. Once again, people, this is further confirming that he's very, you know, he's one of the most disposable players at the Turin. They need to get bread, and I don't know how they're going to negotiate a Rabiot deal to sign a new deal. I don't know what they're doing with someone like Vlahovic. You know, apparently they're not going to make Paredes his signing permanent, so we'll have to watch that space, people. What else is going on in the world of Arsenal? Not keen on him. 100 million for Mudryk, price too high. I mean, it might be, but if they wanted him, fair play. Apparently, an Arsenal fan arrested in Uganda after celebrating Man United victory. Chill, bro. Everybody cool off, man. Everybody cool, man. Everybody stay calm, man. Apparently, an update. Jakub Kiwior work permit is still pending. Everything is expected to be sorted in the next very few hours. There are no problems. Parties working on last details and media content. Then it's signature and official announcement. Deal was done. It's time. I mean, if he's watching the Arsenal United game, then it might have been done, innit? Well, speaking of that, he was there, as you lot could see here, people, really. So he was there at the game, and I'm sure you all saw it on Sky Sports, people. Apparently, he's on the verge of signing from Spezia for 17.5 million quid, people. So again, watch that space. Again, the 22-year-old is in England to put pen to paper on a long-term deal and is at the Emirates for the Gunners' huge clash with rivals Man United. So yeah, people, is what it is. Arsenal offer to pay Martin Zubimendi's 52.5 transfer release clause, but midfielder wants to stay at Real Sociedad. Once again, Arsenal wants to pay the 52.5 million release clause for Real Sociedad star Zubimendi, but the player looks set to decline the transfer according to reports. He is supposedly against leaving the La Liga side while the season's ongoing. I mean, Spanish and Italian players, more so Spanish, they do leave, but they all have an attraction to the bigger clubs in Spain. I personally believe there's an indirect agreement to join Barcelona. Apparently, Xavi wants him ahead of Ruben Neves. Bring Neves if you want, people. So I'm not too sure. Apparently, he signed a 5-year deal in October. So again, that strengthens his club's negotiating angle. The 23-year-old refused to raise his release clause to 79 million, despite the club's wishes, fueling speculation a transfer could happen. Because obviously, one day he's going to engineer a move away. Zubimendi has come through the ranks at Real Sociedad, only ever playing for them. And obviously, you want to leave in the right way, helping achieve what they achieve and then busting out. The White and Blues are third in the table, just 3 points behind first place Barcelona, while the club are still going strong in the Europa League. He's been in impressive form. He's been compared to Busquets, people. He's played 22 times and got 2 assists and a single goal. His performances have seen him linked with both Barcelona and Manchester United. Barcelona, are desperate to replace Busquets, with the 34-year-old's deal set to expire at the end of this season, people. So we'll have to see. They're also in for Declan Rice, yet West Ham would not let their captain leave this month and could reportedly demand 100 million for him. As we know, we've signed Trossard, and Kyrgios looks like it's making progress, people. Once again, Arsenal are expected to finalise a 21 million deal for Spezia centre-back Jakub Kyrgios in the next 24 hours. For the 55th time in this live stream, he travelled to London over the weekend and watched our 3-2 victory against Manchester United at the Emirates Stadium on Sunday. He's set to sign a contract until 2027 with the option for a further year, and on Monday he'll complete the formalities of his move and undergo a medical before officially joining Arsenal. The Gunners will pay an upfront fee of around 17.5 million for Kyrgios, but that could rise by a further 3.5 million due to add-ons, people. He's enjoyed a fine 2022, making his debut for Poland and starting all 4 of their games at the recent World Cup in Qatar. Signing a left-sided centre-back has been a long-term aim for Arsenal. As manager Mikel Arteta wants someone who can compete for Gabriel's place in the team. Kyrgios fits that mold, while the fact he is tall, strong, and good on the ball also means he suits what Arteta wants from a centre-back. If needed, the 22-year-old can also play as a holding midfielder, as he did last season under Thiago Motta, people. So make of that what you want. Arsenal transfer strategy proves club have joined up thinking with Arteta. I mean, the club, from the moment Arteta signed, have said it's a collaborative thing. It's a collaborative thing. It's a collaborative thing. It's a collaborative thing. So it's a collaborative thing, is it not, people? As it knows, people, as you lot know, we've agreed a 20-odd million pound deal for Jakub Kyrgios, and we're trying to do a deal for Ivan Fresneda. That comes on top of, obviously, the 27 million pound signing of Leandro Trossard, 21 million guaranteed with another 6 million in tangible bonuses, people. So, yeah, nothing new here, people. We tried to get Mudryk, it didn't happen. So what are we learning? I don't think we're learning, people, in relation to that. We know we want Gabriel Jesus, but a bit of a lazy article, bit of a nothing article. If he was hoping on Camavinga, there's absolutely no chance for Real Madrid to change their stance on Eduardo Camavinga. He will stay as the club considers him a key player for the present and future of Madrid. His agents come out, but all parties deny potential loan deal for the French midfielder, people. And Fabrizio Romano says Jakub Kyrgios will sign his contract later today. He'll be unveiled as a new Arsenal player until June 2028. The deal is set to be announced. Medical tests have been successfully completed on Saturday. So it appears that we're just waiting on some sort of work permit confirmations. Bye-bye, Frank Lampard. He's been sacked, if you care about that. Who cares, man? He's been, got the Derby job based off nothing, got the Chelsea job based off nothing, got the Everton job based off nothing, and I mean, we saw this a few days ago. Declan Rice favouring move to Arsenal over Chelsea as West Ham exit nears. Potential deal could make Rice most expensive British player. Prospect of working under Arteta appeals to the midfielder. I mean, we've heard this favourable and Arsenal confident about players before. So until people are holding scarves, wearing shirts, anything could happen. But as long as we've got backup plans, go by all means. Go as far as you can to try and confirm his signing. Declan Rice is leaning towards joining Arsenal this summer because of the prospect of playing for Mikel Arteta, who has drawn up plans for where the West Ham captain would fit in the team. Arsenal have made Rice their top transfer target and are increasingly confident of beating Chelsea to his signature. The midfielder is almost certain to leave West Ham, who are battling relegation this season, and is keen to test himself in the Champions League. As we all know, people, he was at Chelsea's academy before being released at the age of 14, and there has been an expectation he'll eventually return to his boyhood club. However, Arteta is a huge fan of Rice, who is regarded as one of the best defensive midfielders in Europe. I mean, Jack Wilshere said he was the best once, Arsenal are emerging as favourites to buy him. Manchester United are also expected to join the race for the 24-year-old. West Ham will hope to fetch more than 100 million for Rice, which would make him the most expensive British player. However, the England international's contract runs until the summer of 2024 with the option of an additional year. That could force West Ham to settle for a fee in the region of 80 million. The numbers will not put off Arsenal, and they believe that they can fend off interest from Chelsea, who beat their rivals to 70 million, signing of Mudryk from Shakhtar Donetsk last week, and João Felix on loan. Hopefully, where Rice is concerned, it could be third time lucky. The prospect of moving to the Emirates Stadium and working under Arteta appeals to Rice. He has seen Arteta turn Arsenal into title contenders this season and would be confident of the Spaniard's coach in making him a better midfielder. So That would be good, really. Apparently, Arteta believes that Rice would provide elite competition for Xhaka and Thomas Partey. We've also been linked with Jack Harrison. I don't know if you lot believed in that, but for what it's worth, Jack Harrison is a long-standing target. With Harrison, I think it's slightly different situation now compared to the summer. Arsenal were not the only club that considered a move for Harrison, although they didn't move in any sort of significant way necessarily. They certainly made inquiries, as did Newcastle United. I think that now on the Harrison front, it's perhaps a level of clubs slightly below where Arsenal are that are looking at the player. So read into that what you will, people. If you want something there in relation to transfer news, folks, let's spin the aftergoal.com and let's see what's going on here, people. Apparently, Arsenal to plot a summer move for Real Sociedad's Martin Zubimendi. Arsenal want to sign central midfielder Martin Zubimendi from, I think it means from Real Sociedad in the summer. The same report states Zubimendi rejected the Gunners' offer a few days ago as he wanted to finish the season with La Real. Barcelona are also heavily interested in the midfielder as they believe he can be the perfect successor to Sergio Busquets. Fulham cooled down interest in Cedric Suarez, people, for whatever reason. Declan Rice leaning towards Arsenal, as said. Arsenal in the picture to sign Vlahovic. You know, the other day it was we bidded 71 million quid. We know Juventus are in turmoil. They need to make money. But according to 90-minute football, the striker wants to leave Turin with Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, PSG and Bayern Munich circling for the signature of the 22-year-old. Apparently, there's an imminent announcement for him. We know we're in for Fresneda. So in truth, it don't mean much, people. But yeah, in terms of some statistics, player of the match, Bukayo Saka. You can find all of this in a tactical review I did, but 70 touches, 13 touches in the yacht box, the most this season. Out of 47 passes, completed 37, had 4 chances created, had 5 shots, 2 on target, scored his 7th goal of the Premier League season, 3rd player to score in 3 successive appearances against United, people. As you can see there, he joins Freddie Ljungberg and Thierry Henry. Once again, Eddie Nketiah is the first Arsenal player to score 2 goals in a Premier League game against Manchester United since Alexis Sanchez in October 2015. We've seen these already. I'm not going to bore you. Look at the Arsenal Man United stats in details. Arsenal had 63 touches in the United box. That's the highest total in any Premier League game this season. United only had 12 in Arsenal's box. Crazy. So, yeah. No side has had as many in a single Premier League game thus far this season. And you can see the touches. Complete domination, people. Lovely. Saka is the youngest Arsenal player in the competition's history to score in 3 consecutive PL games against United. Little Chile really is on fire, man. Arsenal have not lost any of their last 12 home Premier League games. Victory against United, Leeds, Everton, Leicester, Fulham, Villa, Spurs, Liverpool, Forest, West Ham, drew against Newcastle. And 1 against United. Our clean sheet ratio isn't necessarily the best, people. Eddie Nketiah's game by numbers had a 90% pass accuracy, actually completed the most majority of his passes than all of his teammates. 36 touches, 9 touches in the up box, 6 shots, won 5 of his duels, 3 shots on target, 2 goals as well, and a great team performance. Your defense is in trouble. So there you have it. Only 5 sides have reached 50-plus points at the halfway stage of a PL season. City did it in 17-18 with 55. Liverpool also with the same number in 19-20. Chelsea with 52 in 05-06. Liverpool, when they finished second with 50, had 51 in 18-19. Currently in 2022-2023, Arsenal have 50 points. So just need to keep going, man. And there you have that there. Saka again, most final third passes, most touches in the up box, most duels won, most chances created, most fouls won, 5 shots, 2 shots on 5 shots, 5 crosses, 2 shots on target, and a sizzler of a goal as well. Granit Xhaka's game by numbers, he has 5 assists, he had 89% pass accuracy, he had 57 touches, 5 touches in the up box, 1 assist, as I said, 2 crosses, 3 tackles, 1 free duels, 3 passes into the box, 1 possession 4 times, created 4 chances as well. So we're doing what we need to do, people. Zinchenko, baller, man of the match, 88% pass accuracy, but he's playing more riskier passes, in my opinion. 23 final third passes, 85 touches, 7 passes into the box, most, 1 possession 5 times, won 4 of his duels, made 3 crosses, had 2 tackles, had 2 interceptions, and 1 chance created, and he got a big hug from his gaffer. Players to score 7+ goals and provide 7+ assists in Europe's top 5 leagues this season. Messi, Neymar, KK of Napoli, saving the best till last. Bukayo Saka is on fire. Eddie Nketiah completed 17 of his 19 passes, a better completion rate than any other starter, as you can see there. Zinchenko's influence. This was pre-game, people. You can see how great he is there, people. Once again, we've seen this with Ivan Fresneda as well. Doesn't seem like there's anything else emerging there, folks. Again, attacking sequence versus Man United. Saka had 12, Odegaard had 12, Martinelli had 12, Zinchenko had 11, Xhaka had 8, Nketiah had 6, Partey had 6, Saliba had 6, Tomiyasu, impressive with 45 minutes, had 5, Gabriel had 4. So we're doing what we need to do there, further confirming stuff. When you look at his touches against Man United, Zinchenko as well, barely had to defend, in it really. He's our right-sided centre mid off the ball, and like someone's done here, man's just a goal in it really. So we're laughing in that regards, people. What has Martin Odegaard said? He said Martin Odegaard insists Arsenal don't care about Manchester City or any other team and aren't feeling the pressure in the title race after beating United. Specifically, what's the guy said? Honestly, we don't care about City or any other team. We expect them to win, so that it was not a big surprise. We just focused on our game. We come here and win. That's what we did. The way we won this game gives us a special feeling that will help us. Great stuff from him, really and truly. It's a long season. We're just halfway through, literally. There are many games to be played, so we have to stay calm and humble. It's way too far ahead to think about that now. We have to stay in the moment, and everyone should enjoy the moment. We're doing really well, but it's a long way to go, and we have to keep working and improving, people. We've won 16 of the 19 games we've played, people. Oh, yeah, we 2 draws against Southampton and Newcastle, and obviously we lost to United in September. There we have it, people. So, yeah, man. Zinchenko's a bit bullish, though. He said no one is laughing at Arsenal's title ambitions now. I mean, who can tell him about trophies? He's been there, done it, wore the T-shirt, same with Jesus. So we have to listen. But I'd prefer you to sound like our captain, but all right. To be honest, when I had just arrived, the quality I saw, obviously I knew the Arsenal team and all of them before, but still I realized on the pitch we have everything to achieve big things. I started to speak in the dressing room saying, guys, forget top 3 or whatever. We need to think about the title. Some of them were laughing, but no one is laughing now, and all of us are dreaming. The dream is free. The Arsenal is sold separately. But there's still a lot of games to play, and now you can see Manchester United is back. Amen. City, as always, is there. Amen. Let's see what is going to happen, but we need to move step by step. I don't think anyone can complain with what Zinchenko, Odegaard, or any of these guys are saying, people. Well, we've already seen that with Harrison. What's Mikel Arteta said on the win, Eddie, atmosphere, and the title race? Let's see exactly what's been said here. Arsenal won't get Rice, would cost too much, and you know Arsenal won't pay over 100 million. Has Fresneda decided which club to join yet? Not to my knowledge. Would be mad if Saka hit 15 goals. Leno has been fantastic this season for Fulham. Glad for him. I mean, I hope he does his thing today. Lampard, 21 losses in 38 games. Crazy. Think he's going to go Dortmund, and that Camavinga story was a hype. I never saw that coming. They already know they screwed up selling us Odegaard for so little. Trossard's experience and style of play makes him cherry ripe for Arsenal. I'm here with that. Telemans is ready for the next level with Arsenal. It seems like, if anything, we're going to spin the block for him in the summer, and that's about it, really. 150 likes, people. Over 300 of you locked in on YouTube. Can we keep that going? Pardon me. On the atmosphere at full time, I don't know, but it doesn't get much better than that. It was a beautiful moment, a really special one, because we were pushing, and the goal wasn't coming, but it came at the end, and then VAR made it even more difficult, but it was just electric. It was really emotional, really passionate, and I loved it. On what that win means, well, especially after coming back, winning the London derby away from home. Careful, Man United's a London derby for some United fans. We forced to take. The way we played today, we played a completely different team that has very different demands and a way of playing. Going down against this team straight away is extremely dangerous, because you can start to try to attack in ways they're going to punish you, as we saw in September. We came back in the game at 2-1, and then exactly what happened at Old Trafford happened again. So that's something we can improve. At 2-1, we were in control of the game. They scored, and then it's the moment that if you're not emotionally sound, if you're not intelligent enough to know what the game requires, you're going to lose it. We did the opposite. We got better and better and better, and we fully deserve to win the game. On if the win can help our players believe they can become champions. I hope it does. Not that they are champions, but they are good enough to play against these teams and perform the way we've done it. At the same time, don't get confused and talk about that in the last 2 or 3 days. We know our reality. We know still how much we have to improve, and we know what has taken us to the position that we're in today, and we have to reinforce that every single day. Eddie and Nketiah, what Eddie is doing is incredible. Say that again. We cannot say that we saw that. We were hoping that he could do that because of the way he is, because of his mentality, because of his qualities, and how those qualities fit within the team. Losing Gabby Jesus was a big blow. It's a big blow today, but Eddie is responding, and the team, and I think in an exceptional way. On how he keeps our young players grounded. grounded by reminding them every single day. We always talk about what we're going to do tomorrow, what we're going to control today that is in our hands, because this league is so competitive and so demanding that opponents are going to make life very difficult. So make sure that we help ourselves every single day to get better. On Eddie's qualities, the quality he has, how much he wants it, how much belief he has got in himself to become Arsenal's 9, his desire, his background. We're with him every single day. He's a special kid. He's loved by everybody at the football club. He's got a real Arsenal heart and experience within him that's really special. You cannot put that into numbers. He's really, really good. On Eddie scoring the winner, next time he's going to try again. He's going to miss chances. He's going to miss more chances this season for sure. But I can guarantee you that for the next one, he's going to try to do it again. He's not going to hide. On Jacob Kiwior, we can talk about that when everything's finalized. On what a big win does for our team, it gives us belief, confidence that we're in the right direction, that we feel that our way of playing is going to reward them, because it has to be the case. When I see Tomiyasu chasing the goalie and the way he comes back, I really like the way Gabriel, Tomiyasu, all of them were trying to get the winner. But that's not easy because you can't do that kind of action. You don't train it. It's just pure experience, pure belief, and pure commitment of what we do. In my opinion, this is the way we have to continue. Amen. On how we'd sum up the first half of the season at the midpoint, extraordinary, I would say. It doesn't get much better than that. That's the reality. I think we deserve the points that we have. I think we have played well enough to win most of the matches. But the reality as well is that we still have a lot of things that we can get much better at. Attacking and defending in transitions. Amen. In set pieces, that's the end. 3 things that kind of could have cost us in that game and kind of, you know, affected us really and truly. On Bukayo Saka, I wouldn't like to talk individually about players, but what I would like to say is that the courage and personality and the players showed today, the initiative to make things happen when the game is at a stage where we say what is going to happen. They're not looking at each other saying, you're going to do it. I'm taking responsibility. I'm doing it myself. And I absolutely love that. On if we're favourites for the title, I don't have an opinion. It can be a perception. I know my team so well. I know where we are. I know we are here. I know where we want to be. And we are still far from that. I know the level of the other teams, especially one that has won everything in the last 5 or 6 years. We are not there yet. Amen, Gaffer. On whether this season's Premier League winner will need to hit 100 points, I don't know. Obviously, that number has been achieved in the past, and those teams have the qualities to do that. That's for sure. But I don't know what the number is going to be, but it's going to be really high for sure. Finally, on the character of our squad, today particularly, what I've seen, yes, tomorrow I don't know, or next week I don't know. That's the thin balance and the temperature of the team that unfortunately you must always tweak it. But today, yes, people. So that's all there is from the gaffer and the extended thoughts and all of those sort of things, people. So yeah, let's make a timestamp of such. We go on. Zinchenko speak. Fresh hotel. Press. Today we have that. Big up Eddie, my guy always thought he just needed proper minutes. Big up DG. I'm sure if Fulham stay up, Leno earned us peace. Hopefully he does something. Hopefully he does something, man. Hopefully he does something, man. On that note, though, people, I'm aware that we're here for an hour and 17 minutes. I know I'm going to go live on FM with my Twitch gang in 6 minutes, probably, let's say 10. I want to eat some pasta very quickly, people. First things first, appreciative of you lot tuning in, your talking points, supporting the channel, you know, all of these sort of things, man. I hope you lot stay blessed, stay safe. And yeah, man, we've gone over the transfer news. We've spoken about Arsenal and Man United. We've looked at a couple other things with ARTETA, ZINCHENKO and ODEGAARD. We've seen a couple questions from you lot. Without you lot, the platform is dead, people. So yeah, one love for all you lot support. Check out the rest of the videos because I can imagine you haven't. Again, if you want to listen to a bit more of my tactical thoughts of the game, there's a link. If you want a condensed transfer news video, there's a link. You know I'm always covering you lot, people. And obviously more reactions in relation to the game. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, turn on your notifications. Tomorrow, Twitch gang. And if you're on YouTube, follow on Twitch. We will have a bit of fun and look at comps with Ivan Fresneda, Kiwior, Trossard. You know, look at the Premier League games and things. Just take advantage of what Twitch has to offer. Copyright laws means you can't do that on YouTube, though. So, yeah, you lot stay safe, stay blessed. I'm out. In honor of Bukayo Saka, there's another North London lad that can score a banger as well.
Against this right back, Charlie.
There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like. There's always defending. I've been given like.